Hi there, plant friends. Thank you for joining me today on this beautiful spring day. I hope you're enjoying the weather. If you are new, welcome. And if you are returning from my other videos or a subscription, thank you so much. I appreciate all of your comments and your likes, and they're like a hug. And I really appreciate it as a new YouTuber. It makes me really excited that you guys want to watch me and my information that I have, and I hope that these videos maybe teach you something or just give you some information, or put something that you've had in your mind, it cements it and go, oh, so I am doing this the correct way. That's why I watch plant videos, and I saw that there was a void within the Australian plant community, and while I don't think I'm going to fill it, I'm hoping that I'm able to perhaps make it a little bit easier for those in the Southern Hemisphere to have access to the information that pertains to us. Now, what I wanted to talk to you guys today about is one of my favorites when it comes to houseplants. It's such an easy care. It's probably either one of your first plants or it was your first plant, and that's the pothos. And there are just so many different varieties that you're pretty spoiled for choice, and they're so easy. They can thrive in minimum light. They obviously will grow better with a bit more. They prefer to dry out between waterings, so they're quite low maintenance. They're not picky when it comes to soil, and you don't even have to fertilize them. So what more could you want in a plant? I guess something that grew money. But with the way this propagates, it's pretty much the same thing, right? So the varieties that we have available to us in Australia that I've come across are the neon, the golden, the jade, which is also known as the green dragon. You have marble queen, pothos and joy, or snow queen. And I've bought both, but I think it's the same plant. I think it's just labelled differently, and it depends on the grower as to what they call it. And then you've got silver pothos. So I have, and this was my first pothos, the golden variety, also known as devil's ivy, because it just takes over, and I kind of like it. It's sassy. They have these beautiful heart-shaped leaves, which can be confused with the heartleaf philodendron, but they are quite different. I don't have a heartleaf philodendron on me, otherwise I'd compare them. So they're quite commonly mistaken for each other. Like, you can buy a heartleaf philodendron as a pothos, and a pothos as a heartleaf philodendron. You can also say it pothos or pothos, or it just depends on where you're from, I think. Now, this golden variety is the most common. It has a slight variegation with a golden hue, and when it climbs, this is trailing at the moment, but when it climbs, the leaves get quite large, and these are quite large, in my opinion, for a trailing pothos. You then have what I think, from my research, because this didn't come with a tag, it just said pothos. I believe this is the marble queen, and the reason for that is because the information I found says it's similar in shape and size to the golden variety, but you get this white cream variegation rather than the yellow. And the white variegation makes it a bit of a slower grower compared to the yellow variety. And I've had this about a week. I've got it in a catch pot, which is from Kmart if you're looking for it. It's super cute. And I reckon what I'm going to do is maybe take a picture each week and compare them, after spring or summer depending on how long I want to do this and if I can be bothered, to be honest, and compare it with the golden pothos and see what the grow rate is like compared. You've then got the neon variety, which I have propagating at the moment. Now, when I got this is from a larger plant. It did have these brown speckles on it, and I'm not sure if it's edema or if it's a nutrition deficiency, but the new leaves that are coming through don't have it. So I'm not worried about this plant. They're older leaves. I can trim them off. If it was a pest or something and it was coming through in the new leaves, or the new leaves were developing it, I'd be a little bit more worried. But I've got no reason to be worried about it right now. And I think it's just, maybe it was overwatered before I got it. It was in peat moss and it was very wet when I got it. So when I got the mother plant that this came from, I did wait for a nicer day and I have repotted it. But I haven't noticed any issues, no bugs. On occasion you get a split leaf, but it happens. It's a plant. It's wear and tear. You've then got another white variety, which I have put 2 into the one pot. I picked one up yesterday and it was this. It had these two long stems, and it was labelled as a snow queen, and it was in peat moss and it was absolutely drenched. And then I picked up this smaller in one of the little bottle babies that you get from Bunnings, and this was labelled as a Pothos Enjoy. So I don't quite know if there is a difference or if they are the same plant or what. I mean, look, my research has given me a bunch of different things. Another possibility is that it could be the Pothos Mandula, and the reason I say that is because the edges are wavy. They've grown, curvy, not rounded like the regular Pothos varieties, like I have here. Not that that's a good, description, because this leaf's funky anyway. But this leaf is a completely different shape to this leaf, and I'm hoping that you can see it. Maybe up against my hand you can see it. That it does have these dips and then flows. So I'm not entirely sure what this is. Obviously, with any information on the internet, including this, take it with a grain of salt. The information that I give to you may not pertain to you, and it may not work for you. Nothing you read on the internet or see on the internet is gospel. Take everything that you can from it and then leave the rest, because what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. So that brings us to the end of this video. I know, short, sharp, shiny, the best ones are. And it just gives you a little bit of extra information and some pretty plants to look at. And I hope that you've enjoyed it and it's given you some information that you may not have had, or it gives you an idea of something that you could do. Whether that be this spring taking some cuttings, and if you are going to do that, which plant do you want to propagate? And do you have a favourite Pothos? Or is there one that you've seen here today that you might want to add to your collection? Sound off in the comments below and leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already for more planty content. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye. I'll see you next time.